Ian Cunningham, first of all, welcome to Atlanta. I mean, this has just been a dream realized for you, right? You've been named the general manager for the first time in your career. Just asking simply here, what has the last couple of days been like for you and your family?
It's been a whirlwind. You know, when I got the news, I was actually in a car ride on the way back. I was just about to pull in, and I was kind of just sitting there in a daze. I go into my house. My kids are there. They're at an age where they still come up and give you a hug, you know? So they came up, give me a hug. We get in the kitchen. My wife's there. Give her a hug. I end up FaceTiming my dad. And he's like, "What's going on, man?" And I said, "Hey, they offered me the GM job for the Atlanta Falcons." And then everybody's going crazy. The kids are excited. My wife's excited. She thinks I'm just playing a prank on her. And then my dad's just sitting there like with tears kind of coming down his eyes. So it's been a long time coming, but it was a special moment to be able to have that with them. And then obviously from being from here, to have that moment knowing that we have a chance to come back, it was pretty cool.
What a special moment for you guys.
Yeah.
You've been in conversations with this organization for a few weeks now. What was so enticing to you about this organization as a whole?
First and foremost, Arthur Blank and Josh Blank, just having a chance to meet them early in the process, doing some research on the organization and them, and obviously, how do you not know who Arthur Blank is and what he's done for the NFL and done for the city of Atlanta, and then meeting some of the people that were going to be involved. I wanted to be here. This was a fit for me, just in terms of what they stand for. Their values align with my values, my family's values. So I was excited to have that opportunity and super appreciative of that.
You mentioned earlier that this was a long time coming for you, and you spent a couple of years in the league,
Yeah.
right? And you've been instrumental in making, winning rosters in this league. The Ravens, the Eagles, most recently with the Chicago Bears. So I'm not saying that you've cracked the code or anything, but in your opinion, what makes a winning roster?
Yeah, you start in the trenches. That's what we're going to do. Being a former offensive lineman, I value that. Being in places like Baltimore, Philly, obviously what we did in Chicago, we reinforced the importance of offense and defensive line play. So first and foremost that, and building through the draft, right? You can't have any more than enough picks. So those are currency. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build through the draft and build through the offense and defensive lines.
You bring up the offensive lines and the defensive lines, and I think this roster as a whole, on paper, it looks like they're ready to win now in a way. I could kind of name you all the guys on the offense and the defense, but for the sake of time, I won't be doing that. But most of these guys that are bigger names on this team are on longer contracts or rookie contracts. So for you, as you begin to get acquainted with this roster, what excites you about it? And then how do you start the process of evaluating areas of improvement with this staff?
Yeah, it's a talented roster. You have some talented players at the top of the roster. Like you mentioned, we have some good players in the offense and defensive line, some veterans and some younger guys. So it's a good blend of both, right? But first and foremost, we just got to get together as a staff. Looking forward to, after this, we're going to meet with Matt, Kevin, Tommy, and Brick and go over the roster and pending UFAs and RFAs and talk through some things. I sent them a text yesterday with just some things that were on my mind that I wanted to go over today, and we're already hitting the ground running, so I'm excited about that.
You bring up Kevin Stefanski and Matt Ryan, two guys that you haven't worked with yet, but knowing what you know about them and their careers and where they have flourished, how do you expect to come together, the three of you guys, to create an organization with an aligned vision for this team?
Yeah, you hear that buzzword of collaboration. That's not groupthink. I want diversity of thought. I believe we all do. We're willing to challenge each other and have some courageous conversations, which I look forward to. But at the end of the day, just my research on both of those people, no egos, right? And for me, it's about small egos and big mission, right? That's what it is. It's bigger than all of us. So I'm looking forward to working with them.
When people talk about vision, another word that kind of comes up is culture, and that's always a big conversation for every single team in this league. So for you, and kind of thinking about the culture of this organization, What builds a winning culture and sustained winningness for an organization for you?
Yeah, I'd say, I just touched on it with the collaboration as the culture, but the inclusion is really the ethos of it, right? Making people feel valued and heard and understood. And it first starts just with me connecting with people, right? And understanding what they do and what their job responsibilities are and making sure that we give them a voice in meetings. That's what it's about. It's just about us coming together as a whole, and it's not about me, it's not about Matt, it's not about Kevin, it's about the Atlanta Falcons and our organization and build it the right way.
You mentioned it, I think, at the very beginning of this. You grew up a little bit here in Georgia, in Roswell of all places, and you were growing up here when Atlanta was abuzz with sports, right? The 91, 98 Falcons, the latter half of the 90s with the Braves, the Olympics being hosted here. Seeing it firsthand, what is the city like when it's abuzz with sports?
Yeah, it's on fire. I didn't know what I was witnessing as a young kid here, growing up in Roswell, but just remember, the play that Sid Bream had sliding into home and everybody coming to school with their Braves jerseys on the next day and getting fired up, and me being like this little husky kid in the kitchen trying to do the Dirty Bird. I still can't do it to this day, but my daughter, I'm sure, will teach me. She loves dance, so. But yeah, that's what it's about, is creating those things, those memories for the fans, for young kids, young generations coming up, and I'm looking to be a small part of that.
Great. So something that Matt Ryan, speaking of those fans, he talked to the team a couple years ago, and he said something that really struck me and has stayed with me since. And he said, in Atlanta, you have to earn the fan. You have to earn their respect and earn their fandom. So in your time here as a general manager, how do you expect to earn the fan for the Falcons?
Yeah, every day coming to work, I feel like that's kind of easy to say, but it's about my actions, right? And what I do in the building, how I treat people, how we communicate, how we work together. I'll earn their respect by just coming up every day, doing what I'm supposed to do, and this is a goal of mine. I get to have some small impact in changing and helping change an organization, a city. I'm looking forward to that and to earn the fans' respect.
I asked you at the very beginning about your family and what this means for you, but knowing now that you grew up here in Georgia for a little bit and being able to come back and raise your kids here for a little bit of time too, what does that mean for you and your family as a father and a husband to be able to raise your children here in Georgia?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. My dad, I told you about the FaceTime call with my dad. He'll be here. He's already down here, but I remember telling him how I remember being so mad that we had to leave and move and crying and all, kicking and screaming because I loved it here growing up and I had so many good friends. And to think I left going into 8th grade, and then now I'm bringing my family back when my oldest daughter is going to 8th grade. Like how cool is that? That's the universe, right? So appreciative of that. Looking forward to it and just grateful to be here.
Well, Ian, first of all, congratulations to kind of round this interview out. We are so excited for you to be here. I think I speak for myself and a lot of the fans in Atlanta that we're excited to have you as a general manager, and we're excited to see what you can accomplish here.
Thank you so much. It's nice meeting you too.
Perfect.